Okay, hello everyone. My name is Sarah Thorderson. I am with the US EPA out of the Region 5 office just over in Chicago. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today about this EPA initiative funded by the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law called Get the Lead Out, or GLO. So Fostoria has taken initiative to address lead in drinking water, and our Get the Lead Out team will be partnering with the city water department to speed efforts to identify and replace lead service lines. So I just have a brief overview of the program and Fostoria's involvement. Okay, let's see. So back in November, EPA launched the Get the Lead Out initiative with the purpose of accelerating lead service line replacement. So we do this by providing free technical assistance to 200 communities nationwide. We had a previous pilot initiative and have taken the lessons learned and best practices from that effort to inform this initiative. And so throughout this GLO process, in order to inform the nationwide effort to achieve 100% lead service line replacement, we will be sharing best practices, so developing tools, case studies to facilitate knowledge transfer. This will be shared between EPA, state and tribal programs, water system managers, and community leaders. We'll also be amplifying successes. So the GLO initiative will provide content that supports EPA's amplification of successes, including press events, press releases, web content, social media, and then we'll also be tracking progress and efficacy. So measuring our progress towards these three goals by monitoring things like number of communities receiving TA over time, characteristics of these communities like system size, disadvantaged community status, geographic location, as well as number of state revolving fund applications submitted by communities supported by the GLO initiative. Okay, and so before I jump into Fostoria's involvement, I just wanted to provide some general information regarding the health effects and sources of lead. So we know there's no safe level of lead. It has a range of health effects, including damage to the brain, nervous system, cardiovascular effects, impaired kidney function. And infants and young children are the most vulnerable. And there are also many sources of lead, including corrosion of service lines, pipes, plumbing, faucets, as well as material used to hold plumbing together, such as solder. And the corrosivity of our water can also play a role, and this is addressed under the lead and copper rule. So we are working to tackle multiple sources of lead in drinking water. So to look at the scope of technical assistance that can be provided under GLO, the GLO initiative can assist water systems with a range of lead service line related activities, including developing inventories. So under the lead and copper rule, utilities are required to submit an initial inventory of all service lines to EPA by October 16th of this year. So GLO can work alongside utilities to complete this requirement, reducing the number of unknowns through things such as on-site visual inspections, customer surveys, records review. Um, we also could provide community engagement. Community engagement is an important element throughout the process to ensure awareness through educational resources and to ensure community members are engaged and aware while identifying and replacing lead service lines. So this could include attendance at community events, creating fact sheets, pamphlets, surveys, anything that would allow for a community to meaningfully engage with the program. And then replacement support. So while GLO cannot physically remove the service lines, we do everything right up until that point. We can provide customized replacement plans and funding application support. So replacement plans can provide a roadmap for identification, prioritization, and replacement of all lead service lines. And then if lead is found, GLO can provide support by helping identify and apply for funding. And this includes the state revolving fund. This is basically loans provided at a low market rate through the state, as well as assist with construction management. And so this next slide, we use it to highlight in black, the black outline areas where communities are receiving GLO technical assistance. And you'll notice that Fostoria it checks all the boxes. So we will be helping with all three of these categories here. Okay. And then this slide provides a very basic overview of how the GLOW process gets started and progresses. So when identifying communities to participate in GLOW, EPA considers a few factors, one of them being presence of lead service lines. So this can be determined through inventories if they're available, water service line material surveys, and if there are any lead action level exceedances. EPA also considers community need. Is this considered a disadvantaged community, as well as willingness to participate in the program. So once a community has been identified, we send an inquiry email, and then we set up an informational call where we discuss the basics of the program. Is there a need? Would this program be a good fit for this community? And in Fostoria's case, the answer was yes. So we scheduled a 2 to 3 hour kickoff meeting in July where we walk through a needs assessment to see what assistance has been provided previously, if any, and determine what technical assistance can be provided under GLOW. So then we put together a work plan, and this will guide our efforts for the next 9 to 12 months. And then we move into the actual on the ground, in the field technical assistance. And Fostoria has actually already gone through all of these steps, and we are on to the very last step. So EPA's GLOW contractor is actively working now in partnership with Fostoria to help move lead service line replacement forward. So you may be seeing us and our contractor out in the field working with the utility over the next few months. And then here's just an overview of Fostoria's service line inventory so far. This is for both the public and private side of the meter. So on the public side, there are 2,280 lead service lines, 0 galvanized requiring replacement or GER. I'll touch on what that means in a second. There are 2,932 non-lead and then 66 unknown. And then the private side, number of service lines, it looks like there are 7 lead, 254 GER, 2,066 non-lead, and then 2,700 unknowns. And so GER, or galvanized requiring replacement, this needs to be considered under the lead and copper rule because lead, it sort of sticks and adheres to galvanized pipes. So if a lead line is upstream from a galvanized pipe, it could contain lead and would need to be removed. So we are also considering GER. Okay. And just to wrap up with some context for this program for Fostoria, at the regional level, there are 2 coordinators, myself, Sarah Thorderson, as well as Val Boscher. You guys may be more familiar with Val. She attended the kickoff meeting. And we are your primary points of contact for this work. However, there is also the GLOW contractor, project manager, Nick. Nick is online right now, as well as a large team at the EPA in DC. And again, I just want to thank the community of Fostoria for working alongside us in this initiative to get the lead out. And I am happy to answer any questions you have at this time.
Anyone have any questions? Think we're good, Sarah.
All right. Well, thank you so much again. And yeah, feel free if you do have questions in the future, feel free to reach out.